this game? Are you confident going to this game? Opeyodebari, that's the first message I received from a friend of mine. What do you think?
No, definitely. I am not confident going into the game.
Ah,
Most especially because Arsenal lost midweek to Lens. And let me just, for context, Arsenal lost away to Lens 2-1. Manchester City won 3-1 away to RB Leipzig.
yeah.
So, with all due respect to Lens, I believe if they face Leipzig will definitely get a victory from that game. No disrespect to Lens. Well coached side. They've got fantastic players, like Elie Wahi, who I warned about in the game on the show on Monday. I said to you guys that, look, Lens is a very well coached side, and they have a major threat in Elie Wahi. But to be honest, Arsenal did start the game correctly. I believe starting Tomiyasu ahead of Ben White was the best thing to do to keep Wahi quiet. And immediately Zinchenko was taken off, and Ben White came on to play right back, and Tomiyasu went to left back. What happened? Arsenal conceded a goal. Who scored the goal? Elie Wahi. So Arteta knows what to do to approach certain games, but I believe when it comes to Manchester City, I think Arteta is too emotional. Maybe because he interned under Pep. I would call it an internship. And then again, Pep is also good with mind games. Pep knows how to get under Arteta's skin. So it's going to be very difficult. And I sincerely don't see Arsenal getting the victory now.
Do you have any players you'll be expecting? Do you have any players to be? Do you have any players to be you expecting to make the game? I think there's so many.
I believe Bukayo Saka will make the game. In what shape? I don't know. How many minutes will he play? I don't know, because he played less than 30 minutes against Lens, and he went out signaling to Arteta that he needs to be taken off. And the worst part was that there was no contact, and I think those are the worst type of injuries. So it could range from a hamstring injury, could be his quad. I mean, it could be something internal that needs a bit of time to heal from. Injuries like that are the worst for football players. But then again, the way Arteta approaches the game is also important. Don't forget that Arsenal got a victory in the Community Shield against Manchester City, and I think the way Arsenal shaped up to play really, really helped them. One major difference now is that there is no Jurriën Timber, right? So, but then again, like I've said before this season, for the first time in a long time, Arsenal have quality in depth. So I don't have a problem considering the fact that there's no Timber. But how they decide to approach the game is very, very important. How they decide to manage their emotions as well is very important. And that transmits down from the manager. If the manager is on the third line fretting, it could also affect the players. I think Arsenal really need to manage their emotions in this game, because on paper they can get a victory. There is no Rodri, there is no KDB, and there's no John Stones as well. John Stones has been ruled out for the game as well. So it's going to be very difficult for Man City to actually play the ball through the middle. I expect Manchester City to go with long balls from Ederson and disturb the Arsenal centre backs, and they'll be looking forward to pry on the mistakes of Gabriel. Gabriel as well can be temperamental. Although he has tried to maintain composure after missing the first 3 games of the season. I believe that was the message Arteta was trying to pass across to him when he was benched for those first 3 games. So they can also try to attack him through that. We all know that Zinchenko as well is not the best defensively. And when I saw Jeremy Doku score that final goal against Leipzig, I was just thinking to myself and shaking my head, Doku can easily cook Zinchenko, as the case may be. But you know what? It's the Premier League. It's the most unpredictable league in the world, as well as it is the toughest league in the world. Yeah. Sincerely speaking, in my heart of hearts, I do not think Arsenal getting away with a victory, but I hope they are able to prove me wrong. I will be so glad.
My goodness, so plenty 3. All right. Ola, I want you to tell me something about this game. Do you think this game will shape the season? Who is going to win the season? I mean, this particular game, is it something we should be looking at? I mean, could it affect the league, the twist here and there? Ola, over to you on this game, Super Sunday.
Thank you, Don. Unfortunately for Arsenal, they will not even. I don't even think the game will be close. That's just it. So maybe a 2-0. You might feel it's close, but the way they will take them out. Now, this is the problem with Arsenal. Last season, they did a very good job, and they came into this season just to have 2-3 upgrades, and Arteta messed up everything. How? Okay, you sold Shaka, fine. The club he had a bias to take towards the fans, no problem. You sold Shaka. You didn't bring in a replacement for Shaka. You brought in Timber, a very good guy. He's injured out of season. You brought in Havertz that is already down in Chelsea. For what reason, I don't know. Now you've lost Martinelli, one of their greatest assets. You might as well not have Saka available. You have Jesus, you have Trossard. I watched their game against Lens. No Arsenal fan can tell me that Trossard played rubbish in that match. He couldn't even control a ball at the first time. I was wondering, is this Trossard? He couldn't even trap the ball once. So, yes, if the Arsenal fan can tell, I'm not even.
Honestly, I don't agree with everything Ola is saying, but he has a strong point, so I'll let him finish.
Okay, thank you. So, Trossard couldn't even trap a ball against Lens. I was wondering what's this guy doing on the pitch? Now, you want to play this guy. I pray Partey is back. If Partey is not back and Rice goes to play that number 4, they're going to take them out. Now, the reason why Rice was able to excel in West Ham is because of a guy called Sutek. The guy was the one covering for him. Sutek always covers for him when he goes. So you don't see the lapses like that. If they play Partey and Rice, they have a very strong chance of winning. But I don't think Partey is around, so I don't think Partey will play. But if Partey tries to play and Rice goes to that position and they shift Havertz to the striking force, because I know he's not going to trust Trossard to start against Man City. Trossard will not start against Man City. He doesn't trust him that much. He would rather put Jesus in Nketiah and Saka or Jesus, Havertz and Saka. He will not trust Trossard. He doesn't trust Trossard as much as he trusts Xhaka like last season. So, for me, Man City is going to win this game. Maybe I'm seeing a 2-0 or a 2-1. You might feel the scoreline is close, but it's not actually close.
Oh my goodness!
All right, so let me quickly respond to Ola. I'll make it as brief as possible. So let me talk you guys through something. Since Mikel Arteta has taken charge over Arsenal, the truth is that it's been a process, and this season is the first time that Arteta is actually implementing his own ideal style of football on this Arsenal team. And what you've seen over the years at Arsenal is a transition. When he first took over in the 2019-20 season halfway, he had no choice but to play with a back 5. Why? He inherited a lot of band average players who could not play football the way he wanted to play football. So we started with a back 5. What was the back 5 doing for us? It was able to curb those individual errors from the likes of Mustafi, Kolasinac, even Daddy when he came in. Calamities of players. So the back 5 helped to curb their individual errors and created a balance between the attack and defense. Lacazette with the good hold-up play was able to help us drop down into the middle and create chances for the likes of Aubameyang and Saka to thrive. It worked for a while. He got a bit of money after we finished paying the loan for the Emirates Stadium. He signed some players like Thomas Partey. We switched to the double pivot. The double pivot was working for us, and gradually the players were understanding what Arteta wants. It was working, and then we progressed again. We took out the bad eggs from the team. We brought in players who were able to do the needful, which you saw last season. The difference between last season and now is that for the first time, Arsenal have quality in depth. The truth is that the profile of Granit Xhaka and Kai Havertz, or maybe an Emil Smith-Rowe, is the fact that Xhaka is a natural box-to-box midfielder. Xhaka was given the task of getting more goals last season. He did that. But you see what Xhaka naturally has in his game is the ability to track back and to do a good job, which also helped both Partey, Zinchenko, and it helped the forward line as well, people like Martinelli. But now you've got a different profile of a player. The truth is that if Arsenal is playing the exact way that Arteta wants, there is no problem with Kai Havertz. Why? Because Arteta's ideal style of football is to play with a 3 at the back while in possession. And you have a double pivot in front of those 3 at the back. Who are the members of the double pivot? The number 6 and then Zinchenko. And then you have 4 people behind a striker. So if Arsenal are playing ideally that way all the time, Havertz really does not have defensive duties. All he needs to do is to strike back when we're without the ball and gets ready to recover in transition. It's that simple. So the truth is, they are currently trying to gel in that way. There are new players in the team, especially in key positions, talking about Rice and Havertz. The more time they play together, the more they gel together, and it will look better going forward. So I won't totally agree that the signing of Havertz is wrong. Over time, we will see it play out. especially once Timber is back. You see more options.
Okay,
Let me ask you one question. Just one question. Let me ask you one question. So just answer this question. Is Advert, if everybody is fit, is Advert in the first 11 of Arsenal?
Oh yeah.
He's in the first 11 of Arsenal.
If everybody is fit. If everybody is fit.
Then again, to make a point, you start setting players depending on certain games. Different games require different profile of players. I made that example when I said Tomiyasu started ahead of Ben White. If Ben White started that game, he would have cooked Ben White the same way Rashford always cooks Ben White. It's as simple as that. So you need to study your opponent and know the type of team to play forward. Against Man City in the Community Shield, don't forget that Arteta decided by himself to play both Rice and Partey because of the type of team that we're facing. Thankfully, Thomas Partey is fit and back again. He didn't play against Lens, but he was on the bench. Hopefully, he's fit enough to start this game, because I also do believe the best way to approach Manchester City, play with both Rice and Partey. Yes, you made a good point with Thomas Tuchel and Rice at West Ham, but it won't be the same case here for Rice at Arsenal. He'll need to do more. He'll need to step up like Rodri did last season. If we're playing the type of football we want, he would have chances where he's going to be on the box so much, but then what does he do with the ball? Is he finding those long-range passes? Is he finding the back of the net as well? Because that is what Rodri upgraded to last season.
All right. Irate, I think you want to talk about this game.
Yeah, I just want to say that in as much as it's match day 8 and we have 32 games to go, I think this game is of huge significance, not just for Arsenal or for Man City, but for the Premier League as a whole. I think if Arsenal, like Wolves did last week, can challenge Man City and get 3 points, I think we would rather have, a better title race. I don't think we've had a good title race so far in the last couple of seasons. So I think as a neutral in the Premier League, I would love to see Arsenal get 3 points. Now, let's note that I heard Okwe saying Arsenal setup was good in the Community Shield and all that. Yes, I think so, but Man City were still, a level above Arsenal, and it took a deflection for Arsenal to equalize in that game in the dying minutes. So it's not like Arsenal matched Man City. No, they have not so far. And if my stats serve me right, the last time Arsenal have won against Man City was in 2015. They've lost 12 straight games. And if we are looking at it, I think that should be home and away for the last 6 seasons. That is a terrible.
It's the truth. Alex is saying the truth with a scoreline of 5-33. Arsenal has scored 5 goals. Man City have 33 goals.
Wow.
Very shameful.
They will beat you again on Sunday.
This is what you should be saying for Man City, Bournemouth, or Man City. Those so-called smaller teams in the Premier, not a team like Arsenal. So it's a very, very shameful start. And if you are playing in front of your own fans, you have to get it right that this season we won't let a repeat of what happened last season happen again this season. You want to lay down a marker. Arsenal are unbeaten so far in the Premier League. You want to show that you can compete with the big boys. On Man City side, Man City don't have the treble-winning midfield of Gundogan, De Bruyne, and Rodri last season that they had. They don't have it this season. I think that has affected them and dropped their rhythm and gameplay a little bit, especially Rodri, who I think is irreplaceable in that position. So I think it's for Arsenal's advantage that they don't have those 3 guys available. Yeah. And Arsenal should step up at home. Now, we are talking about Arsenal's midfield combination. That would be interesting. Because whether we like it or not, paint it any way you want it, call it anyhow you want it, Kai Havertz is not playing well. And I just find it absurd that after they dashed him a goal, they formed a song for him. But anyways, that is their problem. But he's not playing well. And if I'm Arteta, I'm not starting him against Man City. He is going to get lost in that midfield. I would rather start Partey and Rice or Fabio Vieira, who has played well, better than him. Arsenal fans can testify to that. Fabio Vieira has had more impact on that team than Kai Havertz. So he is not working.
I don't know why they.
I don't know however they want to paint it. Kai Havertz is not working. And Arteta
it's not working. It's not working. Kai Havertz is not working.
Because of the price tag. He brought him in. He said he wanted Kai Havertz. So he's trying to just show him into the side because of his price tag. It's not working so far. So if Arsenal cannot win this game tomorrow, if Man City get 3 points, come on, I think I don't see where Arsenal will get the win against Man City again. Due to, like I said, especially that midfield, that those 3 guys will be absent. So Arsenal have to win this game. If they don't, I think we're in trouble again in the Premier League. And Man City might go on a ride.
It's
a huge, huge game despite the fact that it's still early into the season, it's a huge game and has huge significance for the title race.
All right, Robbie.
Keyword from Irate. Sorry, keyword from Irate is so far. So far, Havertz looks not to be a good signing. We still get games to play for this season. Nagosi.
Robbie,
We'll
you
wait
want
and
to hear
see.
something? Robbie, talk to me. You want to say